So now I can put some parking areas on both sides. But first thing I probably want to do is maybe put a walkway to the parking area. Maybe, well, you know what? Maybe I'll do that last. So let's put some areas in here for parking. Real easy. Let's put another sub-region in here. Okay, and I'm going to use cast in place concrete again. No reason to get too fancy. And I'm going to put from the edge of this building, um, you know what, maybe not from the edge of the building, maybe from the edge of here, right? I can start developing some space for parking. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to have an island of some sort in there. So what I'm going to do is just grab an area that kind of mates up. Um, Let me just start somewhere. Like I'll start right out here near the road, right? And I'm just going to make this all the way up to the edge right there, right? And I'm going to click that there, and I'm going to make sure if I put a dimension in here, right? Let me see if I can put a dimension somewhere in there. Nope, it won't give me a chance to put a dimension because that's a different sub-region. So I'm just going to use a reference line. I'm going to say from there I would come in probably 5 feet, okay? And I'm just going to move that now. All different ways about going how to do this kind of stuff. So I've got 5 feet in there. So there would be 5 feet of maybe grass or something in there. And then I want to have 5 feet between here and here too. So I'm going to say, I'll put a line here, and maybe I'll have a little more. No, 5 feet's okay. And I'm going to bring this down as well. I'm going to move this. Alrighty. And then I'm going to say, I want this dimension here maybe to be 50 feet. Or, yeah, 50 feet. 50 feet will probably do. Alright. And that's a subregion. Alright, that's one subregion. And now I can probably do what? I can grab this and say, let's mirror this off the middle of this, right? Can I mirror this off the middle of that road? No, it won't let me. So again, I can use my friend the detail line maybe. No, it won't even let me do that. So how could I go about flipping that? Could I mirror it off of my property line? Hey, yeah, that was slick. Doesn't look like it's quite 5 feet, but if I go in and I say edit boundary, then I can come in here now and say, well, here's 5 feet, and then I can move this up to here. There's all kinds of ways to trick Revit into doing what you want it to do. But then I have to align this back up with the edge of my property right there. And there we go. Okay, so let's write this side's a little bigger, as long as we got 5 feet on each side here. And what we probably do is get our road extended into the rest of it. So how would we go about doing that? Well, if I grab here and I say edit boundary, you see how I can delete this line, and then maybe I can pull this one all the way to right about here. And then I'm going to grab this and this, and let's see if I can mirror them right off this line. Right? Right, there we go. Now we can turn that like that. Right to the edge of it. Or at least I hope that's the edge. Oh, it's a little off. Gotta be careful there. There we go. All right. And let me check the other one just in case. And the other one looks good. So at that point now, I can turn that road in and then have that road turn into parking. So how can I do that? I can grab that, and what if I mirrored off this here and had that turn there? Same is true there. Mirror off of here into both parking areas. So I'll have a little island out there, and the road can continue on. Now, what I think you're going to find, and what I'll probably find, is that that's a little too close to the building. So what I might do is grab those and maybe move them back. Maybe maybe 8 feet. Let's see. Let's try something different. Maybe I'll come back 3 feet, so that was only 5 feet. That might work, but I'm gonna have to do some adjusting to make that work as well, because you see, again, this wouldn't be a closed region if I did this. So what I'm gonna do here, instead of having that turn in like that, I'll delete those, and then I'm just gonna draw my road up to this portion right now, right? I'll draw it to here, then I'll draw it down to here. All right, and then I'm going to offset that 12 feet. Okay, and usually interior roads are somewhere between 12 and 15 feet, and it should give me enough to be close enough to my building. I may have to adjust that later. I may have to do that in another video, but again, what I want to do right now is make sure that I close this up, and now I can just join these two together, right? And then when I hit finish, there, now I've got my road pulling in and pulling out. Now what I may do, not what I may do, what I'm definitely going to do on this end, I'll join a lot of this lot to this lot. Like, what do I mean by that? Well, I'll come in here, right, and I'll say edit boundary, and I'll come off the edge of here and say, once I turn, I want to be able to turn onto this lot. So maybe from this edge, maybe if I come up maybe 14 feet or so and come there, right, and I can delete that, and then I can say offset 12 feet, right, because that'll let cars basically pass each other. It'll be tight, but they can pass one another. Then once I do that, I can move this to here. Whoops, sorry. I should have just stretched it to there and stretch that to that edge, and then I can connect them. See that? All right, but then I have to split this, right, so that I can trim here and here and trim there and there. And then now I've got a connection to that road right there. And now that wouldn't be that sharp like that, right? We wouldn't want it to be super sharp like that. We want to have some sort of curve in there so that people can turn. But we're not gonna, like I said, we don't have to really worry about that right now. We could do the same thing on the other side, right? How would I do that on the other side? Well, if I can get a dimension off of here, which I should be able to, well, not dimension, I'm sorry, a detail line off of here. I know I made it 14 feet from here to here, right? And that's the tough thing about subregions. You can't really snap to them or measure from them until you're in the editing mode. So let's do that on the other side right quick. I can edit this subregion, right? And now I can come in here and say, come off of here 14 feet, and then come all the way up to here, right? And then I can delete that line. And then I can say offset that 12 feet there, right? And then pull that line to here, pull that line to here, and then draw a line from here to here. And then I can split and then TR trim that. So now I have that other subregion, and that's kind of like my other parking area in there, okay? Now again, I would probably try and match that curve here. Not super important for us right now. Just showing you that you wouldn't have your parking lot touch the road, and you wouldn't have your parking lot touch your road on this side. And we'd probably get some trees or something like that in here. That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? So you see how you can start breaking a topo surface down into different subregions. We did this kind of a long time ago, but now we're kind of seeing how we would maybe make our parking portion of this work. Another thing we might decide to do is say, hey, we're just going to come in here and edit this boundary and move this line and this line and stay, or sorry, move this line and say that should be only 40 feet. Right? We can probably make that work. I can do the same thing. I can align to here, this one, right? And then that way it would give me a nice place to do what? Can I come down here? Do I have any plantings I could put in here? Some trees. Look at all those trees I can put in here. Maybe I can put some really nice some maples. Maples get tall. That's 30 feet. Maybe an ash tree. Or, you know, maybe putting some coniferous trees in there so that it blocks the wind because, you know, they're year round, right? So if I drag this out, you know, this large tooth aspen, it's only 25 feet. You see how I could put something like this in here? Maybe I can put a nice one here at the corner there, right? Put that at that corner. That's pretty cool. What if I go in here and edit this one now and edit the boundary? This parking area is a little smaller. Click on the line, make it 40 feet. Oops, not 4 feet, sorry, 40 feet. My bad. Let's try that one more time. There we go. And then I can align to here, this, right? It's kind of nice. And then I can just say create similar and put another one of those trees over here if I want to, right? So I can put that there, and I could put some trees along the front too to protect. Maybe just trees that aren't as big. Maybe some of these, I don't know, maybe these common apple trees. I don't know. You know, not a landscape architect, right? I'm just a regular architect. I don't want them falling over the road though. See, I couldn't do something like that, so that wouldn't work that well. So maybe I'll put some of them in here, right? So I'll put a couple of those there, and then I'll click on both of those and maybe say copy those down to here. You know, it doesn't matter exactly where they are. Just knowing we would want to have some trees on our site. And so I'm going to go ahead and drop you off there for this part of the video. We'll pick back up. We'll do probably one more video today and finish up some more of the site. And then we'll start. Now that we're finishing the site, as you go back to our sheet, now on our sheet, you can see, hey, there's our site plan. But maybe on the site plan, maybe we want to go here and say instead of 1 to 20, maybe we want it to be, I don't know, an 1/8 inch equals a foot. And doing it an 1/8 inch equals a foot, you know, changes the size a little. That's a little probably too big for what we're going to do. Let's go back here again. Maybe instead of 1 to 20, maybe we can make it 1 to 10. Let's see how that works. If there's a 1 to 10 in here. Yeah, there it is. Let's try that. How does that look? Yeah, it's a little better. 1 to 10 is probably pretty nice. And what they can see now is how big our site is, which is what we really like, right, in this instance. So we can go in here now and we can say, oh, you know what? I'm glad we're seeing this now because I made an error. Look what happened. Look how none of my titles are there on any of my sheets. I just remembered because I made a mistake. Do you remember what I did? Let's go back to one of my other sheets before we close this video. I want you guys to see this. Let's go to sheets. And let's just go to my first floor sheet. Look what happened. My title's gone. You know why my title's gone? Because while I was on one of those other sheets, those G sheets, and I turned off my title, remember that for my viewport? Remember I said no? I've got to make that yes, right? And here's what I can do to fix that. So now for my site plan, you know, A101, see that's back now. Now what I can do to my G sheets, if I don't want that title to show up on G sheets, I can click here and I can say edit type, and then I need to duplicate this and let it be viewport 2. And in viewport 2, now I can say that's no, right? So don't make the same mistake I did. So now my other ones show up because they are viewport 1, but on my general information sheet, that's viewport 2. And I can go to my other G sheet and say, make this viewport 2 as well. Okay? All right. So I'll go ahead and stop this video and we'll pick up in the last one.